Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this Friday night episode of the Wacky Woo with Mr. JSNIP4. You can find his work at JSNIP4 2 here on YouTube and also on patreon.com/JSNIP4. Joe, welcome back to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks. It's been about, a couple of weeks since we started, or not started, but I had our last little chickadee chat. So,
Chitty chat, yeah. We're trying to do the Wacky Woos every 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. What was that?
A lot of stuff, in 2 weeks. Like, holy crap, this happened, that happened.
Yeah. Man. I have a huge slide deck for tonight. I don't know if we'll get through all of it, but it all seems to be heading to something very, very soon here. So thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight. We're going to try to share with you guys a lot of our insights and a lot of our understanding of perhaps what's happening in the news. There's a lot, and there's also a lot of FUD going around too in the crypto world. So we're going to concentrate on that quite a bit tonight. So thank you for joining us. We'll bring your comments on the screen as we go. And if we have a chance also, we'll take your questions as we go. First and foremost, though, throughout the week, I've been doing some guided meditations with Joe for the last 2 weeks for our friend Woo Woo Dude, and he was supposed to be on the show tonight, but Joe, there's a little bit of a snafu. So let's start there and give the audience members here a little update on our friend Richard.
Yeah, so he, I was trying to see if he could, make it today, and even if it was for like, 10 or 15 minutes, if But unfortunately, the doctor had him on some kind of prescription medication that he has to take for his pneumonia issue that he had. He was in the hospital, that whole story.
Yeah.
So he's out. He's been out for like 2 weeks now. And we thought, well, this should be plenty of time. He thought so too. But the medication really put him on his ass, is what he told me. Like, it kind of knocked me out of my ass. He goes, I know, like, not even for 10 or 15 minutes. So he's like, yeah, forget it. Can't do it. So I'm not going to press him, because obviously we care about his health more than we care about you guys wanting him on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
We want him on the show, but it's just the guy's got to.
He needs to be alive in order to be on the show. So let him rest. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I hear some clinging in the background, Joe. Why don't we ask the audience here to join us tonight and do another healing meditation for our friend Woo Woo Dude, led by you and. You're singing
bowls.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll mute my mic here, and guys, join us on that. Oh, nice. Which one's that?
My favorite bowl. This is the one that's. I mean, this thing's probably a 12-inch one.
Yeah.
But it's with all those, like I say, with all those little dark marks. I've noticed them. Man, they sound good. They really resonate for a long time. It just must be this perfect combination of the different metals they have in it.
Mm.
Just for example, here's the other one. I've got two today to play.
Yeah.
This one's probably a 8 or maybe a 10-inch. This is probably a 12 or 13-inch. So you can see the clear difference. Now, they both sound good, but nothing out resonates this bad boy. It's just awesome. And it was like one of those things where when I bought it, it was like, mainly used its life in a healing ceremony or something. And it was special. And it was expensive for the one bowl. And I'm going, no, I have to have that. I got to have that. No, and I got to have it. So I was like, all right, how much you want for it? Yeah, send it. And here I am. I still got this baby. I love this one.
Cool.
So, so all right, everybody, we're going to just do a little silent Woo Woo Dude prayer and or meditation where we just picture white healing energy going to our friend Woo Woo Dude.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, maybe there's some loved ones in your life that might be in trouble right now too with something, and you could certainly think of all the different people and send them all that energy. Just close your eyes if you'd like. Picture that white light surrounding you, and then just sending it over to Woo Woo Dude. There's his face. If you need to open your eye for a split second to get his face ingrained in your third eye, that's okay.
Just in case you don't know what Santa Claus looks like.
Yeah, this gotta happen. So here we go, everybody.
All right, I'll mute my mic here as we go. Also, go ahead.
All right. Just love how that thing resonates, man.
Give us the 12-inch one. That sounds wrong. Just one more time.
12 inches.
Wait. Because DJs do it with 12 inches. Keep going, Joe.
Here, for all y'all's viewing pleasure, how about that? I actually have to press the finger on the side to stop it.
Like the Energizer Buddy.
It wants to keep going, and that thing is not light. Like my left hand. Let me hold it with my strong hand. Grab my strong hand. And it's like, okay, my hand's getting tired. I gotta hurry up this. Let me slow this process.
Do you remember once? I think it was on my first channel before I got the first one deleted. You had like 6 or 7 of these bowls, and you were doing a show. That's when you were at the office, as opposed to the closet.
Yeah, I bought these little like fake grease pillars. They weigh 1 pound. They're plastic, but they're the right height. So like if they were here right now, I could do this perfect height. Yeah, and I did it over there too, so I could like surround myself where I can go ding, 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 ding. With 6 or 7 of them. And I have them in my room, but I'm in the closet right now, and everything's just like too tight in here. So we have a little small office space downstairs that we've been using for Ian's toy room, and we're making some changes inside the house where, okay, you can sleep in that room, he can go in his own room, That room's going to become available, and I go, okay, I think that's where I'll start doing my videos now, and not my freaking wife's closet, our closet where my wife can't get to anything because my laptop and my second monitor and my light and green screen thing, like. I might as well just go in there and paint the wall green or something and go, all right, I don't need a green screen anymore. Paint the whole thing ugly green.
Yeah. There's a lot of people riffing on my 12-inch joke. It's pretty fun down there. So, thank you so much, everyone, for having fun. And yeah, of course, it's Friday night. It's the Wacky Woo. And our hearts go out to Richard. Hopefully he feels better soon. And I know for a fact that our last meditations did help him quite a bit. So a big thank you to all of you for helping us in that meditation. Charles Frenzel, prayers for Woo Dude. Thank you. I'll leave that one on the screen for a bit here. Joe, man, okay, crazy week, but 2 weeks since you and I saw. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start talking about Kazakhstan to the extent that we can? There's a lot of things going on there as well, and how perhaps this capital of the bad guys, we'll just say that for this show here.
And I think your tarot card friend has confirmed that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot going on there. Let me see here. Where can I start with that? Well, what's your latest here, or what's your understanding of what's happening in Kazakhstan? Why it's important in the context of the financial changes that are around us now? What can you share with the audience, Joe?
Well, I think similar to Ukraine. This is first of all my opinion and what limited stuff I think I know about that whole situation. Like Ukraine, it is an offshoring center for money, and we've heard it was the capital that the Illuminati, whatever Z's, if you will, have. And up until recent times, I never heard that or knew that. So I don't know how this particular information came out all of a sudden, where it initially came from. Like, how do we know that that's true, blah, blah, blah. But Janine in the tarot seems to think, well,
and so does Cliff High too. And if you look at some of the work of Ben Fulford and some other researchers, we kept going back from, okay, well, the red and then something shields that are in charge of the banking system, maybe occupying Israel, but then realizing that no, they're not from there. They're from the Khazars, the Kazakhstan. So this is where all this lineage perhaps comes from. And then we get into the elongated skulls, which Cliff has been on the hunt in the last a little while in his videos too. And he was explaining that as a kid in Europe, in the museums, they would have on display all of these royalties with the elongated skull. But at some point, they removed all of that from our history. And when I asked Janine, is there still a remnant, a lot of our elongated skull friends in this neck of the woods? And it was a big yes. So there's something happening there now. The banks are under siege. They're being occupied. So yes, they've been looted of the money, but there seems to be a coordinated reason now why they're sleeping, holding these banks together. These are the populist people doing that. It's because they're chasing the data. They're using the information that they're finding now in these headquarters to perhaps go out and find the people who are behind all of this. So there's more and more and more to come out of that. So guys, if you want to check out that last pay-per-view on Kazakhstan with Janine, absolutely amazing show. You can find it on beyondmystic.net/pay-per-view. And then the day after, I also got Jim Willie for his take on that. And he was also chiming in, and a lot of his insiders were also chiming in why this was a much bigger deal than, of course, is being reported in the mainstream news. Now, Joe, you were tweeting the last couple of days. You sent a lot of those underground videos of cops and police officers, military people not having a good day dealing with the populace over there.
They're citizens, yeah,
exactly. So clearly right now, something big is happening over there. There's an overtaking, and it's perhaps why also we're hearing the rhetoric of war in the last couple of days. And whether that's Ukraine or that neck of the woods, it's a story to be able to maybe deploy some assets there to maybe recapture that capital for the bad guys. So that remains to be seen. Joe, another question I wanted to ask you is this whole idea about the Geneva Convention and what happened on, was it Friday or Thursday? Yesterday, the 20th at noon, which marked the 1-year anniversary of this, we'll choose our words here, but occupation of a certain place in America. What do you make of that, and what can you share on that with the audience?
Yeah, I've been following that too, and I'm like, okay, today's the day. We heard this rules of war, whatever this thing, rules of occupation.
Yeah.
On the day it happens, you have a year, blah blah blah. But there's no real news. But the interesting thing is, leading up to this, I only mean within a few days leading up to the 20th, which was yesterday. There's new gates, new fencing, White House, this stuff. So, I'm sorry, are we having an election again? That's what we told last time. There's an election. People are upset about the election, so we're blocking them. Okay, well, what the hell's happening now? Something special happening in D.C. I'm not aware of, but specifically the White House? No.
Is there another Trump rally somewhere?
No.
No.
So, again, that's very interesting.
Very odd. Here in Ottawa, somebody pointed out to me, is also our nation's capital. There are weird fences. Now, there is construction, but as you know, they often use construction as cover to fence out areas and all that. So is it just a construction, or is it timely also that there's some weird barricades coming up here? So I saw a few pictures. I'm like, I'm not convinced, but still at the same time, there could be something here. And if
then you add in a few countries all of a sudden. We're stopping mandates, stopping COVID, opening everything back up. No lockdowns, no passports. We're done. Whoa, what? UK, Boris Johnson. What was the other one?
Czechoslovakia, Scotland, Israel.
Yeah, Scotland, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Joe, that can't be. CNN's not reporting that. That just can't be. I did a show the other night. I'm like, okay, this is big news around the world. I go to CNN. No, it was anti-Trump this, anti-Trump that. I'm like, wait, didn't they get the memo? Didn't Mr. Trudeau get the memo? Not yet, apparently. But yes, the narrative is absolutely breaking down. So you're right. All this are pieces of the puzzle.
All right, so speaking of the virus, right?
Yeah.
And vaccines and such. So we'll be careful.
Yeah.
But this is an easy one because this is by the Ministry of Truth known as YouTube. This is actually from an authority source that they always refer to, which how about is the vaccine manufacturer, Pfizer CEO. And verbatim, the man said, when referring to the first 2 shots for the COVID, this is his mouth, this is not public, easily found on any platform. And it was only a few days ago, several days ago, really, that he said it. And I'll paraphrase a little bit because I don't have the quote right in front of me, but he said,
and try to use some code words, even though he did say
the first 2 things are almost not useful at all, or barely do anything, or nothing at all. Was his words.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to my mom during breakfast today. My mom got him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. I saw that on CNN. They played it on CNN too, and I just don't believe it. Whoa, mom. Mom. You saw it on CNN. You get all your news from CNN, obviously. But this time they're lying to you. Well, I mean, he's the CEO, but think about it. A CEO is really like the spokesperson. They come out and just say stuff for the company. I go, whoa. The CEO does not just come out as a spokesperson. That's what their press person is for.
Mm-hmm.
Not the $50 million a year salary CEO. He's there because he's the guy in charge. Well, I don't know. I just don't believe that. Like, why would they make a such and such that does nothing? I go, Mom, it's worse than that. It doesn't just do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, so we can imagine the rest of it. So that just happened. Why? My question to everybody listening, just like I always say when I do my videos about, the Democrats just lost this. Oh, the Democrats just lost that. Oh, my God, they just failed in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they had everything, and they got the 50-50 vote with Kamala Harris. She can come in as 51 or whatever and do the tiebreaker. They didn't get to a tiebreaker. That horrible bill they tried to pass, the voting rights. We had the most votes, they said, in election history, 80 million votes for President Biden. And they were screaming the most fairest, unmessed with elections, they said.
That's the most secure election.
Most secure. Like, we got to pass a voting rights bill. My God. And you look at the bill, there's nothing in there about voting rights. It's more about opening up voting, let anyone illegals come in, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, failed. The Democrats are in charge of the most important pieces of our government, failure after failure after failure. I'm not running for re-election. I'm going to be stepping down. This is absurd. And now you're going to have the CDC, who also came out, it's been about 2 weeks now, roughly, who said of the such and such amount of people who have died of COVID and listed as death, which we now know is over 800,000. This is her words again, YouTube. 75. I'm quoting the CDC head. This is your top news source that is acceptable, not misinformation. She said 3 out of 4 people, 75% of those listed as dead from COVID, she said, had 4 or more comorbidities. So the question that they had for her was the Congress, we'd like to look into that more. We want to find out how many people died of COVID versus how many died with COVID. So now, okay, give me a few weeks and I'll get back to you. And a couple of weeks have gone by. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if soon we're going to get that report and it's going to shock the shit out of everybody who decided to get vaccinated.
Well, we just got one in the UK through Freedom of Information.
I saw that one.
Yeah, and the numbers are way, way, way smaller.
It looks like 3,000 or 4,000 deaths in the entire time period they were talking about.
Right.
Can you imagine locking a world down, wear a mask, get a shot, you need a passport, you can't
lose
go
your business, lose your rights. Yeah, exactly. Traumatize your kids. Don't see grandma for Christmas. Separate everybody. Create this division. All that for absolutely, well, you know what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay. There's something else too. You said the Democrats are in charge, and I wanted to bring up my Twitter feed because I put up a cool little poster earlier today. Let me see if I can still find it. Yes, the Democrats are in charge. Look, Biden's in charge.
Hold on. I see Litecoin Lisa.
I like
so the other day, my dad's at my house, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if it was for Ian's birthday or whatever. He was here. And he's like, oh, hey. He's talking to me. He goes, hey, just for the record. And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. What's he going to say, you know? What's that girl, Lisa Light something? Oh, Litecoin Lisa? She's a babe. Okay? She's a babe. My dad says, okay, where'd that come from? So, you go, Litecoin Lisa. My dad says you're a babe.
There you go. She says, hey, guys.
So anyways, yeah, the Democrats are in charge. Are they? Are we watching a show play out?
Well, let me bring this one in. When you say they're in charge, people freaked out this week. And again, these are Democrats. And then you put this in front of them. They're like, oh, no, that can be. Well, look at what your guy just said. CNN is scrambling to explain why Joe Biden is saying that the 2022 midterms could be illegitimate. Is that because the whole pretendency is illegitimate? Right? It makes you think, what the hell is going on? What are you doing, Joe?
You're right.
Right. Okay.
You're absolutely right. Like, what is going on? None of this makes sense. If this person in this group's in charge, that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. But it's happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'll remind everybody what Woo Woo Dude has been saying for the longest time, ever since we asked, since the 2020 election. And he basically said, and I'm not going to say who, when he used the word he, I'll leave that name out. But when we asked about a certain person, hey, what's going on with that person? He said, Spirit, I'm not going to change words. I never do. He says, Spirit said he never left. I'm not going to say who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said. What the hell is this on my eye right now? It's going to come a dark spot. What is this thing? One of those little fake flies on my screen, landing on my head or what?
Are you a clone, Joe?
I might be.
Remember that fly that was flying on the Hillary Clinton's face through the debate?
That was great.
Yeah, it was great. Oh my God! Let's change gears here. Bix just interviewed Cliff High. Guys, if you haven't seen this video, go check it out. Cliff High on the fate of silver and humanity. You can find that pinned to the top of roadtoruda.com. Absolutely fabulous video in and of itself, but it's also interesting because I just had Penny Kelly on the show a couple of nights ago, and she's explaining that whether that guy who shall not be named returns, it doesn't mean that every problem is going to be fixed tomorrow. We still have a lot of things to fix that we don't even know are broken yet because of the nature of the war and the obfuscation that we're in. And it troubled quite a few people in the audience to hear that. And some people were a little bit mean, and it's okay to disagree, but they were a little bit mean. And if you go watch what Cliff High is saying here too, he's...
You kind of owe Penny an apology, huh?
He's giving it like it is, and regardless of what your opinions are on the political people in power, what we're trying to say here on this show, by having all of these differences of opinions come together, is to figure out what the fuck is actually wrong and how do we as humans be responsible and fix it. And unless we can actually say those things and talk to each other about those things, we're not going to fix anything. It's going to take a lot longer and much more disruptions before we go back to something resembling normal. We know for a fact we're not going back to normal. That's absolutely clear. And so all of this devolution and all of this outsourcing of our industries and our manufacturing base won't come back tomorrow, even if Mr. So-and-so comes back in the office tomorrow. And now what we're hearing in this particular interview as well, and from other insiders, including the interview I did with Jim Willey, is that China is closing itself on itself right now. So they've decided that globalization is dead, or they've understood the memo that it's dead. So we need to understand that really quick, and we need to bring back manufacturing here in North America.
And you can't snap your finger and go, oh, open up some businesses.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. Magically, we have tires for our cars and microchips and, all semiconductors and all that. No, that's not going to happen. And so a lot of these disruptions in our supply chain that we've been talking about and forecasting are here now. We're seeing it. I'm seeing it in my local grocery store now, and we're seeing it in our car dealerships everywhere. And from what I understand, looking at this, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So again, not saying this to fearmonger, but I'm saying this, yes, we can hope for the best, but you also need to prepare. And to pretend that that's not so, that everything's going to be absolutely perfectly okay, and that there's a magical person on a white horse somewhere that's going to fix it all, might not be the best approach. Don't want to tell you how to think. I'm just suggesting maybe self-responsibility and a little preparedness goes a long way. So guys, do go and check out this episode. There's a lot more in there, including some of the weird, wacky shit about silver. Even I didn't know. So man, Cliff keeps surprising us on all of this stuff. So very, very fascinating episode indeed. I see quite a few people here who saw the episode. So yeah, absolutely crazy. Okay, let me go through some of the weird crypto news. Well, let me start here. Warren Buffett today. This is this morning on Zero Hedge. Investing legend turns apocalyptic. What? Expects stocks to crater 50%. When this guy talks, a lot of people listen, guys. And so he's forecasting something, and we're seeing now a lot of pressure everywhere. And we saw the 200-day moving average on silver break just the other day. Something weird is happening behind the scenes, and of course, this guy seems to be front running something here for his friends. So whether or not you want to pay attention to that is up to you. This I thought was interesting, Joe. We heard, and you and I were reporting in the last couple of months that MasterCard was creating these payment cards for crypto in Asia. Now we have Visa today lending its network for these CBDCs. And we just had the report come out from Congress the other day on the Federal Reserve's idea of the implementation of the CBDC. So here we are, you and I, the crazy, tinfoil hatters have been saying this for years, and apparently it was a conspiracy theory that this was coming. Well, it's actually here now. So these guys are trying to catch up to the decentralized cryptocurrencies already out there, and they're trying to build their own system and perhaps legislate you into them and out of everything else. Joe, talk about why this is important today, and the news also coming from the Fed on their introduction of their CBDCs.
Right, because that's where we're heading. We've been saying, like you said, we've been saying this for the last several years. The old system is going to die. We have what, 30 trillion, 29, 30 trillion dollars right now in debt. And I've said this back in my old channel when I even had hardly any subscribers. I said, look, I don't care if Ron Paul got elected as president or the best person in the world you thought of. And Ron Paul is a very fiscal, money kind of guy. I said, the debt will never decrease. It will only increase because it's designed so. Mm-hmm. It's designed to be borrowed into existence, and when that dollar gets borrowed, they have to print another dollar to pay the interest. Well, that dollar's $2 that need interest. They got to print a third dollar, right? Long story short. Mm-hmm. So that system can only get to such a level before it's destroyed and implodes. Mm-hmm. So what I fully expect to see is what these guys who brought us Event 201 on COVID, it played out exactly like their scenario did. They also brought us cyber attack. Event 201, if you will. Mm-hmm. Hasn't happened yet. And their event is we're going to go into a world-wide virus outbreak, and I mean computer virus, and they have to shut the power down in certain areas because as soon as they turn everything back on, the virus just keeps spreading. It's this highly sophisticated, they'll probably blame it on the Russians for all we know. Mm-hmm. Russian did it. They cut the undersea cable. That's all we've been hearing about lately. Is not interesting. Right. Russia could cut an undersea cable. Russia could cut an undersea cable. Russia could cut an undersea cable.
Russia, Joe.
So that when the undersea cable is cut, I heard that on the news. Of course you did. Just like you heard, Russia, Trump dossier, he's working with the Russians, and a total fraud. Mm-hmm. So anyways, if that happens, and the financial system's in trouble, and oh my gosh, bank, what happened to my account? Is my account still there? Can I log in and have digits there? Or Penny Kelly was saying in her recent look-see, you print out every now and then your damn ledger or your statement on your bank and keep a hard copy. She goes, because we might get into a scenario where they go, it's wiped, our backups are wiped, everything's wiped. Yeah. We don't know what you had. Can you prove it? Well, here's my last statement I had, and then you can get this new currency in the new system. Mm-hmm. But so where I'm going with this is what we think, again, my opinion, that the old system will be destroyed. Mm-hmm. There's no other way around it. Mm-hmm. And as it's destroyed, again, what's the solution? How do we fix this? Well, we'll just give a bunch of people money in their bank account. Most of which, people who live paycheck to paycheck, don't have even $1,500 in there, right? So if that's the majority of people, and they're going to be given $5,000 or $10,000, let's say, because the bank thing messed up, they're ecstatic. Oh, great, where do I sign up? Oh, here's your little crypto card. Here's this thing. It kind of works similar to your other card, but it's a little different. Mm-hmm. Sign me up, baby. And the rest of us who go, wait a minute, I had a little more than $500,000 in my bank account. What about me? You have proof of that, sir? Mm-hmm. Actually, I do have a statement, actually printed out statement I do have, as a matter of fact. So that was something she was saying, but she was also, in her last look, the previous one was talking about some issue arises with the banking system. Mm-hmm. And she's like, and we're not happy. People are not happy. And we're like basically going to the banking system and going, you better fix this shit. Because if we do, you ain't going to like how we fix it.
Yeah.
And that's what she said. So she has this more recent one that she did just a few days ago, actually.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we kind of touched on that on the last interview. Warning signs here saying, hey, did you see Cliff High cry today? Yes, I did. Similar to 2 years ago when Bix interviewed him just before COVID hit. He saw something and was devastated by it. And now he's seeing something and he's still devastated. So again, it might not all come to pass the way Cliff sees it and the way the WebBot data reports it. And often it's more negative than not. That's just how the WebBot data report works. But that being said, there's a lot in there. And what you just said about these systems breaking, Joe, and coming to that realization, Cliff, in this video, and first of all, folks, you're looking for the video, roadtoruta.com. It's right on the screen now, and it's the first pinned video. The BitChute link may or may not work, but it's still working here on roadtoruta.com. So you can find that video right here. And thank you for those of you who were posting it from the BitChute channel. But this one is still working for now. I hear some of you can get the link working on BitChute. So go to Road to Ruta. Cliff was saying, though, too, in response to a question from Bix, well, what's going to happen with the next time this happens here? Because we're at that pivotal moment again. Are they going to bail in the banks? Are they going to bail out the banks? And Cliff was saying, well, that's the decision we have to make. And it's probably going to be happening around the 17th or 18th of February. That's where he would pin it right now. And you know why that's funny, Joe? Do you know why? That
Tell
is
me. Show me.
It's funny because
It would be the money.
Right. It's very funny because you and Woo Woo Dude have been talking about 2222s all year. And as I'm preparing the slide deck here for this next Astro Woo report with Julie and Janine, Julie came up with a reason why you guys might be seeing the 2222s, and it's this one here. On February 20th, 2022, it is the United States Pluto return. So everything that has to do with its constitution, with its money, the corporation behind it, all of that is going to be living a death and a rebirth on this particular day. Joe, 2222s. Man, does that explain a lot? So we're going to get into details, guys, on this next Astro Woo report. We're recording that on Monday. We already did the first preliminaries here today. It's going to be an absolutely amazing show. Today, we just recorded the Beyond Crypto Woo. This is the forecast now for February of 2022. We did touch upon these numbers there as well, and everything that's happening in crypto and both silver and gold, including what coin perhaps is going to go from $5 to $1,000. So you don't want to miss that episode. It's available now for the Insider Access Pass members, and it will be available tomorrow for the pay-per-view folks. Now, Joe, on top of all of that, you and I have been hard at work here preparing a new segment, an addendum to our Beyond Crypto Woo Panic to Own crash course, and this one is entitled Security Updates. Why are we spending all of our time today, Joe, in a rush to bring this video to the population?
Yeah, I was like, okay, we talked about this before. I still haven't done it yet. I go, when I put Ian down for a nap today, I'm busting this out. We got to get this out there because, simply put, and I know the market's down today. Theta is down lower, by the way, than it's ever been since it made its run from the dollar to like $16 and then came back down and went up a little bit, back down. It was like 360 or 338, 360 something. It was low. It's never been so low. And I had a dream recently about a hellacious low crypto market. And it was so clear there was no interpretation needed. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, like, I did a post today. Hey, guys, I'm buying, by the way, I'll tell you guys, I'm buying more Matic right now. And then I got a little thought tonight. I go, you need to buy some more Shiba too. So I think I'm going to buy just a sliver more Shiba. And when I say buy, I'm not talking about using stablecoin anymore. I already used my stablecoin. And then we dropped even more. Mm-hmm. So, I don't always get everything absolutely perfect either, but I know the game. So I'm going to buy lower, buy lower, buy lower. Now, when you run out of money, you go, okay, I can't put any more in. You have no choice but to wait. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And that's fine. I've been there plenty of times.
Yeah.
So we're in a down market right now, right? It's a good time to buy. So the thing is, we know it's going to go back up. Is it going to be a week? Is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be a month? Whatever it is, it's going to go back up. When it goes back up, and you have a nice little pile of crypto, or maybe you already have your nice pile, there are sneaky bastards, hackers out there, and sometimes you might even say they're not even hacking. It's not even a hack. They just fooled me out of my effing crypto, and I'm the dummy, you're going to say that to yourself, who gave my effing private keys away or my seed phrase because I just oh my God, I thought I was talking to the support team of this coin that I needed help with or whatever.
Yeah.
You've got to keep your stuff safe. You have to learn. So I learned about crypto, Joe. I just barely figured out how to use Coinbase, and I've got my stuff. It's on there. I didn't even take it off because I don't even know how to do anything. Or okay, fine. You're still vulnerable. In Coinbase, although they have insurance like other exchanges do too, but especially them, they're an American company. Mm-hmm. They're not going to give you an insurance claim and say, oh yeah, we'll pay you back for someone who hacked into your account with your password, with your stuff. No, if we as a company get hacked, we take care of it. We will issue insurance monies out. But in your particular account, because someone else figured out your password and you had weak security turned on, sorry about your luck. That's how that's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to learn all of the techniques, and there's not a lot. There's just a few that these damn bastards will do to people to relinquish you of your crypto. Mm-hmm. And there's steps that you can take that will save your ass, and they're not hard.
Mm-hmm.
But you may not know about them. So I told JC, like I did last time with the last video, JC, I'm going to do an exclusive thing for your peeps, basically, on your BeyondMystic site. I'll do my Patreon shit on my site, but he's got his BeyondMystic. And I'm saying, we just got to get this out. So I just did a fresh video today with very easy to follow instructions. And a lot of it we printed out so that you don't have to watch the video again unless you just want to hear key parts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, step 1, do this. Step 2, you need to do this. Step 3, you need to do this. And like this step, there's no not doing it. You have to do this. Don't be a dumbass. Like this is extremely important,
Mm-hmm.
But it's simple stuff. And once you watch and see what I'm saying, you're gonna go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know they could do that. Someone can actually take a new phone, call into your phone company, and get your phone number and steal it off your phone. Your phone quits working. Yes, because they have insiders at the phone company that give your information away. It's a effing racket. It is organized crime, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But there are ways to protect even with the insiders of the phone companies. And I go through all this. So you got to keep your stuff safe. And we put this out because we may start rocketing up after this sell-off. And just FYI, another person I follow that had just emailed me goes, hey, Joe, these 2 astrological things, it stops, I think, in the 24th or 25th. He goes, I think this might be when the dumping stops. But until then, it could dump and stay there or dump and dump.
Mm-hmm.
But again, astrology is not always dead on even either, but it's usually pretty damn close if it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've always got one ear to the ground. I got a dream recently and I already said this, so I'll just say it out loud again. I was, John Kim, Litecoin John Kim, he's in the dream and he's like, holy shit, the market's crashing. And I'm like what? What do you mean? He goes, Ethereum is $408. And I go, dude, it was just 4,000. He goes, I know. He goes, but it's 408 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, holy shit. Well, what's XRP? And then he tells me, I'll leave that one out. And what about Theta? And he had some trouble trying to get Theta price.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, holy smokes. But I thought, well, maybe that is one coming after the next run up. But I couldn't get a date and time, although I did get a 3 and a 15. So I thought, was that March 15 or, that was part of this dream. But it was I had 4 dreams back to back, completely different. I remembered every single detail out of every single dream. This is absurd when most of us can't, even myself included, can hardly remember a dream. And I'm like, well, clearly they were showing me something. So I remember it. And I think it was me, you, and Dave in this castle building, old school, like old times. And we knew like they hid some gold up at the top above the door, but we had to go to the top of the castle. Like when we were allowed up there, we were just pretending we're looking around, We get slide the brick out. No one's here. We grab it. There's 3 like old Spanish gold bars. I shove them, one in my pants, one in my pockets. And we get out, right, and I'm like, can you tell? And you're like, yeah, just kind of like tap your pockets or like keep your hands just slightly
Is that a
down.
gold bar in your pants, or are you just happy to see me, Joe?
Yeah, there was one in the center of pants in the front because I had 3 and I go, I can't put 2 in my pocket. So one went down the front. I'm like, we didn't care. It's effing gold, man. So we get down there and I'm like, all right, the coast is clear. Like, let's pull them out and really look at them. There's just beautiful Spanish gold bars. I'm like, oh man, we found 3. Yeah. And then this other dream I had a 15. So anyways, I don't know if March 15 is relevant here. Like we may start going on a rally until then and then, oh shit, or some other, I don't know. But anyways, I wanted to share that real quick with all this. And here we are, definitely taking a nice jump down. But, if the astrology stuff is right, that tomorrow's the 22nd, the next day is the 23rd, the next day is the 24th, and then I think the 25th, supposedly it could possibly end. So there's 38K. Yeah. Are we going to 30? I mean, geez, all I know is
I think Dick Algeier was saying that it could go down to 30 and maybe even 12. And if you remember Cliff High also, because of weird shenanigans happening to the value of the dollar, which we can get into maybe in another show, he was saying that the value of Bitcoin could potentially, in that sense, drop 90% also. Remember? And so if your all-time high for now was 67 or 68,000, we could get close to that 12K that Dick Algeier is talking about here. So thank you, Wendell, for that. Somebody's asking also, JC, are you intentionally doing the Zoolander face in that photo? Yes, I was.
Yeah, he does. That's exactly right.
Of course, we're having fun. Of course I am. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, and talking about having fun, just so you know, I wasn't kidding here, but let me bring this up. Where did you go? There you go. Where is it? Oh, here it is. That's what I was referring to. DJs do it with 12 inches.
12-inch vinyl record.
Yes.
You don't know that.
Vinyl records. Yes, absolutely. All right, Joe. Man, crazy things going on. Do you want to talk about... well, first, let me just recap this for the audience too. So you're looking for... Let's go to the pay-per-view page here, guys. So right now, the Crash Course Security Update is available for you to purchase. And also the Crypto Woo and the Astro Woo Finance will be available here in the next 2 or 3 days here for the pay-per-view audience, but is already up and running now for the Insider Access Pass members. So go check that out if you're interested. And also go check out the 2 pay-per-views on Kazakhstan, one from Janine and the other one from Jim Willie. And also Jim Willie was talking about some crazy volatility in some crypto, and he's very excited. And this guy used to be a gold bug and nothing else, so he's learned quite a bit since then. And a lot of our audience also are learning as we go. So as Cliff High was saying, if you haven't done so already, maybe this is the time to start investing 10% of your time here and your earnings into learning, into investing in your own knowledge.
And God, you got to be. The thing is, you have to be safe. But there's no one out here, like you get in, but there's no part of it where it goes, oh, by the way, here's the way to stay safe and secure. I mean, all I can think of is like this next big rally that happens, whenever it is, it's going to probably take us to new highs for everything, right? There's going to be a panic to own crypto, as Cliff's data has been pointing to recently, by the way, everybody. Some of his temporal markers that were old are going, hey, that one's filling. Hey, that one's filling. There's going to be a panic to own crypto. That's why we did that initial video, because we weren't sure how was it going to be next week, next month. We don't know. Get the damn video out so at least people can get in. But then we realized later, because some people are asking us a lot of questions, it's like, well, shit, yeah, I need to do a separate one that's security related, completely different one. The last thing I would want to see, or JC would want to see, is you guys, oh my God, I made it. I made it. The shit worked. Thank you, God, my God, JSNIP, everybody, Bix, JC, Cliff. I made it. I got effing crypto profits. I've never had money like this in my life. And it may not be that much. Maybe it's $30,000 or $40,000, but to you, it's life-changing, and it is life-changing. And you could pay that thing off and this, and you're good.
Yeah.
I don't want you to get to that point, and then all of a sudden you got hacked. Because of these simple things that I shouldn't say almost nobody knows about, because I'm sure people know about it. But does everybody know about all the things I'm going to talk about? Maybe not.
Yeah.
And it's just like, God, there's not that many, but you got to understand what they are, how to avoid them. And there's a few little simple solutions that will get you through this flawlessly. Where if you still got hacked after this, there's a huge problem. Like, there's a major problem if you still got hacked. I feel like there's no way this could happen now.
Right. Well, here's the thing. When you say that's the last thing Joe and I want to see, Joe and I are already seeing it. We get emails all the time. JC, I contacted this thing and I thought it was legit, and they took my keys and now I don't have my money, and I called the cops and they said I can't do anything. Can you help me find my crypto? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You gave them your keys. You know what I mean? Or the scenarios that we talk about here, with the SIM card hacking and all that, which is a little bit more complex, and the authentications and all that. But yeah, you guys really need to take security into your own hands. You are becoming your own bank. Nobody's coming to save you here. So taking this course will help you a lot there. There's probably 30 or 40 hours of research if you're going to go find this all on your own. It's all on YouTube already, but Joe and I put it into this about 35 minute video, and there's added text also in scenarios. So when you buy that episode, you'll get access to that also. And there's also a link below there for Joe's elite crypto package here on Patreon. So if you do need a little bit more hand holding, a little bit more help, he's not saying that he's going to recover your coins, but please do go check out the JSNIP4 Elite one if that is the case for you. But yes, so a big warning here. Watch out for those trolls underneath our videos. Joe has those, Bix has those, Clef High has those. They're targeting all of our videos, and they're pretending to be me. They're pretending to be Joe and say, hey, click this WhatsApp number and all this stuff. Like, guys, don't fall for that stuff. I keep making videos, but still there's new people coming on board. And they're like, oh, JC wants to reach me, and he wants to help me with my crypto.
That's exciting. Oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
it's happening already.
Now there's a comment. I'm just going to read it. Yep. Two-factor authentication and whitelisting and not sharing your seed phrase or private keys. That's all. No. Good advice, and I do cover that, but no, that is not all. Absolutely not all. There's more ways that they get to you and will get your shit, and it's scary if you don't know what I'm talking about, and I cover it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that like, oh, let me just say it, and then when you guys go buy it, hey, Joe, that's all you talked about. No.
No.
There's more in there that you need to know about.
There's more in there. And of course, guys, we're not saying that if you follow all these steps, you won't get conned. The cons are growing by the day. At this point here, we're putting as best as we can here to help you out, avoid at least the major ones that we're aware of right now. And if more come out, we'll do more videos to help you out too. But like Joe says, you don't want to be that guy who suddenly, for the first time in his life, has fuck you money and then gets fucked over and has no money, right? You don't want to do that. You just don't want to do that. Okay, Joe, we have like 10 minutes left, man. Where do we go from here? There's so many things else. Let me see. So we talked about Ethereum, Bitcoin, the low coming out. We talked about this weird retraction. Okay, I want to talk about this one. The 200-day moving average in silver. Maybe we can end on silver and gold here. This was interesting because, explain to the audience here, the Webbot data that talked about the $1 moves and then the $5 a day moves, and perhaps why we've already just now started that. So this was my question to Bix Weir this morning and to Cliff earlier this week. And they're all kind of suggesting that we could be essentially there. And somebody on the screen is saying, why is Cliff crying? I'm going to tell you why he's crying. Because he's crying because the $600 silver is about to happen. And he doesn't like the world where $600 silver exists. So go check out that video again, roadtoruda.com. But Joe, let's talk about this silver breaking the 200-day moving average and what potentially it means here with some of those old Webbot data reports. Yeah.
Now, first and foremost, we know the markets are rigged. It could be a head fake, and then, oh, down we go again. We've seen that so many times. You know, it's the boy who cried wolf. Like, give me a break. I don't even care. Like, but again, we're getting close to something. Financial, banking stuff, Penny's seeing it, remote viewers are seeing it, psychics are seeing it. Something's going to be happening. And I think that's going to be the bottle being shook, and then pop, silver and gold maybe break the mechanism. And then, oh my God, the prices are, holy shit, silver. We've never seen a price like this before. What's going on?
Yeah.
But the data initially, and this is years ago, $600 silver is coming. And then it would even go higher, but you would see $600. I'm like, well, how, is there something we would see before that? How it was just going to pop the 600? He goes, no. The data is showing we'd have like $1 a day move, then like a $2 a day move, a $5 a day move, and then like a $20 a day move in the silver market. So I quickly go, okay, well, I'm thinking, and at the time, the price was probably $15 to $20. Who knows? It bounced around there. And I'm going, well, if it's $20, I don't think we're going to see a $20 a day move. Because I mean, technically that could be a swing up and down, So I'm like, was it going to go to 40 and then back to 20? Or I'm going, no, if we're going to see a $20 move, my mind's going, we got to be at least $100 because a $20 move is only 20%. That could happen. And I'm going, that makes sense to me. But with this new data, again, it's a very positive sign. But my question is, are we going to get the head fake or not again? Or no, we're just going up. But it was probably about 2 years ago, I think. It could have been 2019, but it might have been, I think, 2020. It was somewhere around there. And I did videos then, too, on my old channel before it was terminated, probably Twitter stuff. And I'm like, look, we just had, basically, in a 24-hour period of time, I think we just had a $5 move. And I think I emailed Cliff or whatever, Bix and them. I may have emailed or just talked about in the video. I don't remember. It was so long ago. Excuse me. So that happened, and I'm going, shit, are we there? That's temporal marker shit right now, man. We've not had that happen.
Mhm.
And it did go. I started getting into the 20s, high 20s. Oh, no, here we go. And then it was like, nope, back down to 22, back down to 20. Oh, shit. And then it was just like, okay, more of the same. Never mind, head fake. See you later. And then it's
You're
been more.
talking about when Greece had their referendum?
I don't remember if it was the same time or not, but it was.
Okay.
I mean, our COMEX market,
Yeah.
made this move. And if you remember, it might not have been long after that. Come to think of it, remember me and you were doing some videos too back then,
Yeah.
and we were talking about you're like, Joe, look on effing eBay for Canadian maple leaf.
Yeah.
Holy yeah, it's like the price of a silver maple leaf on top of a price of a silver maple leaf. Like you're paying double to get it on eBay. That nobody has them.
Yeah.
It was around that time, I think. So I want to say that was 2020,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I mean, look, the 200 moving day average, that's something to look at, just like the 50. But the longer ones, typically, when they start to pop and go past it, it's like, okay, we might be onto something, And again, we might, but we might not.
Right.
So,
well, I asked Janine about that too, and I asked Andy Sheckman about that too. And what he's saying right now, it's very tight. The supply is very tight. And if you go back to this video on roadtoroota.com with Bix and Cliff was explaining some of the data that's coming out of Europe right now. And so it leads to suggest there's all these other factors also now that seems to tell us that this time is perhaps different than those other times where we've seen some head fakes. Not to say that it's not a head fake and there's still some shenanigans that are going to be pulled here, but in the context of everything else that's happening, all of these alignments.
It's ripe to go up. It really is.
Exactly. And what Janine was saying, as soon as we see those $1 a day and then maybe $5 a day, like we've had almost a $1 a day moves from the last 3 days here in silver. So we're getting almost there. When we hit that $5 a day, she said it could be 2 weeks until it's over in terms of the manipulation. That's how much time you would have to figure out, oh, okay, we're here now. I haven't bought silver yet. Let me go buy some silver. It'll happen very quickly. Yeah. And this is also what Cliff had in his webbot data. We would get to unobtainium. Whatever the price is, if you don't got it, you're not going to be able to buy it. Nobody's going to want to relinquish it, especially not for U.S. Go ahead.
What she said, what you said, she just said. Mm-hmm. Think about this. So when we had the $5 move I'm talking about, it was like either nearly 5 or right at 5 again in a 24-hour period. I showed people in the chart, look.
Yeah.
It happened once. So what she is saying, it wouldn't be, and I guess technically speaking, if I really thought about the webbot, I could have said this too, but it wasn't laid out this way, so I never said it this way. But when the way she's saying it sounds like $1 a day is not going to be, or even the $5 a day is not going to be, we had it hit once and then a slew of days went by and it didn't happen again. It sounds like what she's saying is you're going to get $1. Oh, there's another $1 next day. Holy shit, another $1. Okay, now it's moving $5 this day, $5 the next day, $5 the next day. That's probably when I would honestly feel real comfortable going, oh shit, I think we're there. Mm-hmm. Not the one-off $5 a day move. So it sounds like that's what she's saying. It's going to happen, and that
was always, by the way, my understanding of what Cliff High had explained in one of his videos. Now, I could have gotten that wrong. It was somebody else interviewing him at the time on that. But I thought we would see consecutive days of $1, $1. And then people will say, well, it can't be. It's going to go down. And then at a certain point, oh, no, it didn't go up $1. Now it went up $5. And then the next day, another $5. And people will say, oh, shit, maybe now it's true. And then, well, wait, I'll wait a little bit. And then suddenly they see the $20 and then another $20. And then it was like unobtainium. That's how I understood it. But I could be wrong. We'd have to go back to some of those older interviews that Cliff was giving at the time on that. But
all I remember is you got a dream or download that you were selling some silver to pitch in on a badass ranch with me and Dave. That's all I remember. Okay.
I can't wait. So guys, if you're interested in those free WebBot data reports, these are the original ones. They are from Cliff. Cliff gave us the permission to run them on this show. There's nothing to buy. There's no coupon code. There's no emails or whatever. Just go at beyondmystic.net/Cliff High and you can download these gracieuseté de notre ami Cliff from our friend Cliff here. And these, again, unabridged, unaltered, because you might find them on the web, but people have modified them over time. So if you want the original files, you can download them here. And no, don't email me to ask me where you can find them. It's very easy, beyondmystic.net/Cliff High. And it's in the live chat now. So just click on the link. I'll do that again. Okay, so do that. And also, guys, somebody on the screen was just asking now about silver. Jean Charlebois, GC, can you explain what you're... Okay, so let me bring that up. So folks, for you guys now who are interested in getting silver in your own possession, let me bring that up on the screen for you guys here. Hold on a second.
Or gold. Right? He does gold too, right?
What's that? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So let me bring that up. So for now, so there's two basically affiliate programs. We now have one just for Canada. It's mfbullion.ca. So if you go to beyondmystic.net/silver, you'll get those two options here. So you can click here. I'll show you what that looks like. And right now, I believe they have the Philharmonics on sale. Yes, at $569 over spot Canadian. And when you get to your at the end of the shopping cart, just say this is we found you under Beyond Mystic to make sure you have this special for you guys. And also for the Americans, all you have to do is fill out this contact form here again at beyondmystic.net/silver. And this week here we have the Valcambi bars at $275 US over spot. I know Andy and his crew are absolutely busy. I've been seeing these booking forms go all week. So people are realizing here, perhaps like all of the smart money has realized over the last year and 2 years, as Andy Shegman was explaining, all the smart money was front running what's about to happen now, and they were accumulating the physical off of the COMEX, the LMEMA, and all the banks also were front running gold. So if you're thinking about that now, here's a good place to start. And these are, of course, the discounts for the Beyond Mystic audience. Joe, before we go, is there anything else on your list? Do you have any other prophetic dreams? Or did we do the...
I've actually had a few dreams lately. All kinds of shit, actually.
You want to pick one?
One that I just thought, maybe we're going to hear this in the news. Maybe it already happened. You know, some of the stuff I don't catch it, but if I say it, someone goes, "Oh, Joe, this happened." And I was crawling across a frozen river. It wasn't a big river. It wasn't real wide, but it was completely frozen, freezing outside, obviously. And, you know, maybe even snowing. I don't know. But I remember I got to get across this river, and it's not real thick ice. So I'm like doing the army crawl kind of thing to go real slow.
Right.
Put my weight out evenly. I got to get across. If this thing breaks, I'm going to be hypothermic in like, 10 seconds, 5 seconds. And I'm trying to be gentle. And I look off to my left, and there's a whole bunch of other people who are panicking to get across the river. And I don't know why everyone was panicking to get across this frozen river. And those dumb bastards are not doing the slow and steady wins the race. They're, hopping around, jumping, get out of my way, and boom, they crack open the ice. A bunch of them fall into the water, and then they're like trying to swim to the shore now as fast as they can. And I couldn't tell if they were able to make it or not, but I was worried about the crack in the ice now coming towards me because we were kind of close to each other. I'm like, I don't need that shit over here. I'm trying to do it the right way, nice and safe. You people are, idiots. Why, you're panicking and acting like a bunch of idiots. And that was kind of it. Mm-hmm. I had a dream not too long ago about a helicopter crashing in front of me. That was a very modern one, but I knew everybody on board survived. And then that happened recently where a medevac helicopter crashed with 4 people on board, including a baby, and they all survived. And it was white, just like all white in the one in my dream. But I was looking up at the belly, and I was like, oh, it's kind of definitely a modern helicopter. And he's just cruising real slow over the water, and I was in a boat, and then he just kind of crashed down in the water. Anyways, but then that happened a few days later. So who knows? But again, recently I got Ethereum at $408. So, God, that's low, man.
Yeah, it's low because right now we're at 6 months low and we're at 3K. Could you imagine at $400? I mean, wow.
Yeah, and imagine being someone that started buying in at 25, 3, and and I've had to buy pieces of it because I have coins that need gas and stuff, to change to sell, to move them, which are on the Ethereum blockchain. So I'm over here buying some ETH, a portion of ETH at the stupid high rates, but I actually don't hold really hardly any ETH, to be honest with you. And it was funny. I was mentioning the other day, I was like, I was like, and I'll say this to you too. So you remember, you're at your couch, you're moving something around, you look, oh shit, I found, $1 or, $5 bill in my couch. Oh shit, you know, you're happy. I had these.
I found a slice of pizza from last week.
Oh, cool. So I plug it in my old, I think, Trezor that I used to use back in the day when I had we were doing all the ICOs and all this shit.
Oh,
well, I
yeah?
had like 5 different addresses that I would put certain coins on. So each of those had to have some ETH.
Yeah.
Back when ETH was like, you know, $100.
Yeah.
So I'm like logging in, and it's like combined, you've got like, you know, 1 point something ETH or whatever. And at the time, I'm like, oh shit, I got like $5,300. Like, how's that for finding a, you know, old moldy slice of
in your account? I know. It's crazy.
I was like, man, that's freaking cool. So
I still have some of those shit coins, that are now shit coins from those ICOs. But I'm like, I don't know. You never know. When this goes crazy, the tide rises all ships.
What's cheap? Yeah, I want cheap. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and we're gonna have it going. You know, that's not a good enough price for me today. I got a helicopter I got to buy, or you know, maybe you guys want a private jet or something. I don't know. Got a private jet to buy, man. That's not high enough for me.
How's the helicopter going? I saw you put out a video. I didn't have time to watch it today. What are you talking about here, Joe?
Oh yeah, so there's one of Cliff. That thing is a little flying car, essentially.
Oh, that's cool.
And it goes 250 miles an hour. It's all electric. And it's an electric jet turbine type of a setup that they have. And some DARPA government-funded, patented, you know, electric motor technology.
Wow.
Hour-long flight in the battery at 2 mile an hour.
Wow.
Now I'm like, okay, we're starting to get close to Cliff High's floaty technology where it's meaningful rather than the black fly that is 25 minutes, maybe 60 mile an hour. And I think it could go faster, but they had to tone it down to be qualified for part, whatever it is on the FAA thing to make it an experimental ultralight.
Dude, this thing is cool. Look at the lines on that.
3 people.
Wow.
Pilot in the front center.
Yeah.
A small bench seat, very comfortable looking though. And I shouldn't say bench because I think it folds under your legs like a normal seat, but it's 2 people sit side by side, and it looked like they shared a seatbelt in the one thing I saw. So I think I mentioned in the video, I reached out to these guys, hey, everybody, and and this is what they told me. So I want to say I reached back out to them, and I had said, I used to have a big YouTube channel, and it got crushed by YouTube, and I started over again. But I said, I still have a lot of people that are going to be interested in getting something like this in the not too distant future. I'm like, I'd like to demo this thing, like be there when you try this thing out.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know a bunch of people were going to go over there and start inquiring, and so they emailed me back because I never told them I'm going to go do a video on this.
Okay.
So all of a sudden they emailed me back, Joe, I guess your YouTube video, blah, 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 we got a lot of people, inquiries, everyone's excited about it. Thanks so much. When we get closer, we'll reach out to you. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know. Like, I didn't tell you guys. They just quickly put 2 and 2 together. We had a burst of traffic on our website. It must have come from you. And I go, I guess so. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool. You mean the Black Fly still? That was the Black Fly one.
What about?
That was for the Black Fly or this Leo one?
The Leo one.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on the Black Fly because I was like, do I want a helicopter, Black Fly? If I do the helicopter, I can take JC and Dave with me. We can fly for 3.5 hours. Like,
yeah.
The Black Fly, it's one. Would we all 3 going to buy one and then all 3 fly the same place? Oh, we got to make sure we can get back in time. 15, 12 minutes there, 12 minutes back. I'm like, nah. So that's why I got the helicopter. The problem with the helicopter, it's not really a problem, but yes, it's expensive to get the right people to work on it, the certified A&P to work on it. Everything has timed components. You have to replace this at 500 hours. You got to replace that at 2,000 hours. That one's 4,200 hours, which is fine. I knew all the hours on my helicopter when I bought it. It was priced right. I knew a few little things would be coming up within like 500 hours. One thing comes up in 130 hours, main rotor thrust bearing. So anyways, I bought that part. I got stuff waiting to do it during the annual. But then I go, and I'm going to tell you this separately after we get off because this is some information you need to know.
It's the insider of the insider.
Yeah, it was a private reading Julianne gave me, so it's not public, okay. But you need to hear it. It'd be something you need to hear, or Dave, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there was another helicopter, another 3-blade, very comfortable 3-seat system. Unlike mine, it's got a little bench seat. You're kind of tight, but it's a kit helicopter. So I talk about in that video too. And a kit means they'll sell you the whole thing and you put it together. And they give you the full-on instructions. You can do it in your garage. It may take you 300 hours, 500 hours of total time to do it, whatever. But in doing so, there's some certain regulations within the FAA that says, well, you put it together, you're now qualified to work on this damn thing. You can do your own annuals. You can do your own repairs.
Wow.
You can do your own inspections. You can do everything. You don't have to take it to anybody now.
Wow.
And I'm going, now that's advantageous. So this other helicopter is called Scout Arrow, AERO, Scout Arrow. I talked about in the video. And it's a 3-bladed, fully articulated helicopter, just like mine. I'm going dual controls, way more modern. I'm going, I'm kind of like, I kind of like this. And I'm going, well, but what about mine? The one I have now, I don't need two.
Are you going to sell yours already?
No, I'm going to have mine for a while. And even I reach out to them, it would be well over a year probably by the time I could do it. But I asked them, I go, well, you guys do a builder assist program, right? Because as long the guideline says if you build all of the helicopter, all those things you're qualified to do now, you can do.
Yeah.
But if I do a 51% build, meaning I just enough to be over 50%, the same rules apply. So I can go there and they may say, hey, come in here for 2 weeks. We're going to work, 8-hour days with you, 10 days total work days, let's say. And we're going to give you, and I'm just making this up at this point because I don't know what the hours are on this thing to build it. But
yeah,
I come in for 10 days, balls to the wall, 8 hours a day. Let's go. And then I'm taking pictures the whole way of me working on stuff, putting together with them helping. And then I'm like, okay, got my 51% in. Yep, we're good. All right, you guys take over. I'm out of here. Call me when it's done. Now, I do have to pay them, of course, for that extra service. But I'm still entitled to all those benefits because I did 51% of it. Not 50, not 49, but 50, 51. And same rules apply. So I could work on that thing. Not to mention, I would like to do that because I want to thoroughly know all the major components work in there anyways. But anyways, it flies faster than my helicopter. It can go higher than my helicopter. They have a very similar engine that my helicopter has, but they also have the same one with the turbocharger for way more height ceiling and just better performance all around. I go, well, of course, I'll just get the turbocharged one. And it's a piston engine, so it runs off 100 low lead, just like my helicopter here. So anyways, I'm like, again, cryptos. I need to learn how to fly this thing anyways, which I'm doing. I've got my instructor. He came down for a week already. Yeah. And it's going well. I think that's kind of what you're asking initially. It's going well. I can fly the helicopter. Like there's no issue with me flying. I'm not going to crash. I've never even come close to crashing, but it's not legal for me to fly alone right now. I've got to have an instructor or another pilot, licensed pilot. So
here, let me ask you, do you find that your dexterity as a drummer, being able to use all 4 limbs at once, helps you in the helicopter training?
Yeah, because when someone first sits on a set of drums, you're it's like pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time. You're like, So I do think that did help me. Yeah. But when I still was a drummer when I tried flying the R-22 Robinson initially, like 2+ years ago for like 1.2 hours. We got up in the air. He let me take over forward flight, turning, no problem. Anybody honestly can do that. It's landing, mainly not even necessarily landing. It's hovering. So I'm hovering. And in R-22, it was just extremely difficult. And he's explaining the pedals and this and that. And he'd do the pedals by itself. Okay, do the cyclic by itself. Do the collective by itself. Okay, now do these two at the same time. And I couldn't hover that effing thing for the life of me. Not even kind of. This helicopter was easy to fly. And the first time he took me up, I said, "Can we just go to that field for a minute right over here? It's within the airport, and I just want to see if I can hover this by chance. I don't know if I can or not with you helping on the controls, So he's like, all right. So he did the same thing. Take this one by one. Take this one too. Next thing I know, he's like, you have all 3. And I'm hovering the son of a bitch. And I'm going, holy shit. And I'm like, okay, this is the right helicopter for me. I'm sold. So anyways, but yes, I do think it helped. But people, and typically women, become better pilots than men and hover and do stuff quicker than men. It's just a common thing, I guess. At least with helicopters, maybe even airplanes too. I'm not sure. So anyways, yeah, that's it. It's a real nice looking helicopter. It very comfortably seats 3 people and can handle the weight that we would ever need and all that good stuff. So I'm like, man, we just got to get past all the shit. And the thing is, we're going to be dealing with some shit for a while and sporadic shits. But it's like, if we can all make some money in the crypto market, keep our shit safe, use it, take your profit, as we say, lick your ice cream, because those who never lick their ice cream, how do you like theta right now at $3.60? or Bitcoin Cash at under $400 right now. That effing thing was $1,500 not too awfully long ago. You know what I mean? So I'm licking my ice cream, helicopter, lick my ice cream, pay that thing off. And now we wait for the big numbers again. But are we going to go much further down first? Yeah. And again, I'm getting dreams, and I'm ecstatic that my guides are really giving me this information, because it's not just for me. Like, they're not saying, Joe, this is for you to make you rich. Yeah. And it's for you to tell other people, your Patreon members. Those people love you. Of course, that's where I give this information mostly. But I do come out and I go, you know what? I have to just say this publicly. Sorry, guys, at Patreon. I got to just tell, Spirit wants it out there. I'm going to just say it. Like the other day when I let it slip that the coin was Matic, I knew the whole time, okay, don't say the word, just say this. I already had it ingrained in my brain. I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to slip. And when it came time to say it, it was like something else took control of my mouth and just flat out made me say it. And I go, well, F that. That's Spirit saying, you're not hiding that. I know the Patreon members paid, but you got to give this one out for free. And I've told my Patreon many times, like, if that happens, I'm sorry, guys, I have to do it. Woo-Doo comes out and he's like, oh, no, we have to say this publicly. I'm like, I just gave that thing out last night, all of it. Do I tell them all? Like, just to be fair to my Patreon, he's like, dude, if Spirit's asking, I go, yeah, you're right. We can't deny Spirit what they want, man. It's very critical. And they'll watch and wait and see what you did. Okay, we're proud of them. And then they'll give you something else.
And Joe, I just crossed 60,000 last week, so there's a lot of new people on the show since you were even on last time. Explain to the audience, those who are looking into crypto, who want to add a little bit of woo, an edge to their trading here, what can they find at JSNIP4's crypto woo here on
patreon.com/JSNIP4, as you see at the top. The center one it's typically $20. His is in Canadian dollars, that's why the price is a little different, but the center one's $20 a month, American dollars. The JSNIP4 Elite is $40. I only have a few places left, as you can see, because those people typically will sign up and go, okay, Joe, can you look at my portfolio? What coins suck and should I get rid of? What would you do different? And I'll look at it. I'll just paste it in the comment to me. I'll look at it. Okay, yeah, you got plenty of that. That looks good. Do you need to add more of this, or you don't have any of this? You need to add some of those, and maybe a percentage I feel you should have, or just spread it evenly across certain coins. Things like that. Or, Joe, I sent some Theta to an old Ethereum address. I think I lost it. What, help me? Oh, no, you didn't. If you got the private keys, I can help you. And, I'll help someone recover. But I'm not going to jump into your computer or, hey, can you Skype me and talk about stuff I'm totally new? No, I love you. And I'm ecstatic you're signing up for my shit. But as happens to anybody, as you grow and more people come, more and more questions keep coming at you, and answers. And I'm actually at the point right now, which I think you mentioned this the other day yourself too. And I had a reading from Julianne recently, and this has come up numerous times during her channeling sessions, especially. You're going to have to delegate some of your duties to some, or at least start with one of your most trusted people that know crypto very well. They're in your Patreon. They've been with you a long time. You have a few people for sure you could pick. I know and get with them, one of them, to at least start answering your private messages on Patreon, because it's a lot of it's similar. Well, that person asked it, but this person asked later. And it's something that I don't have to answer. Like, anybody who knows crypto could answer this. So she told me, you need to start doing that, because again, you're on your spiritual journey, and we've opened you up a bit, but you got a lot more openings, psychically stuff coming your way. And she said over the next 6 to 8 months that we're going to kind of pack in. We need you not worrying about, oh, I got to check my emails. Oh, I got to check the Patreon stuff, because she goes, we see this coming. While you love these people, you're happy they're there. The more of it comes to you, you're going to get to a point where you start actually getting frustrated. Oh, another question came in. Oh, I got to answer another thing. It's going to happen to you. She's telling me this. And I'm like, no, I'm happy these people, Yeah. But I can see it. I can see the writing on the wall, and I'm like, I don't want to be frustrated with anyone, because I'm trying to focus on this thing and not so much on that. And they deserve an answer. They're paying, Right. But why do I have to answer every time if it's a question that someone else that I trust very much so can answer? So, anyways, she's telling me all that stuff, and I'm trying to think of why I went off on this little thing. What was your question to me?
Just so well, what can people find and why maybe they can use a JSNIP4? So you got into there. But what you're saying is you can help a little bit, but you can't hold their hand all the way. They have to do their own research there as well.
And Julianne's channeling is scolding me, going, for sure, don't be spending that kind of time with anybody. She's like, believe me, they're excited when you reply back because it's like, oh, I'm talking to Joe, I like that guy, and I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. But
me too. I try to
you just can't. I can't physically. Oh my God! She tells me, she goes, you need to take like 2 days off of. Don't even look at Patreon. Don't even look at the questions. Just wait until 2 days, or honestly, you should take 3 out of the week. But here's the issue: take a day off. Oh, I only had 40 normally. Now I've got 80 waiting on me. So at least I took a day off and I energetically got what I needed, I guess was the point.
Right.
But anyway, so I see what she says. This is a reoccurring thing that she channels, and I don't ask. She just starts speaking. Mm-hmm. And they know. She knows I haven't done it yet. And she's been telling me, and I'm like, okay, I'll look into that. And I never freaking look into it. So she keeps bringing it up, and so anyways.
You and I are in the same spot, I know. And for
Joe, we love you, everybody, but it's like, God, everyone, and it's like a new person, Joe. I'm like, God, I so many people. I'm gonna have to hire somebody, and it's not gonna take someone more than, honestly, I don't even know if it'd be an hour a day or 2 hours a day. But I'm like, I could pay them in crypto, or I could do a PayPal, or and I'll find the right person. With that, I've got some people in mind in my Telegram and that are part of my Patreon, and
it's just at a certain point, it's like trying to drink water from a fireman's hose. Like there's just so much volume coming at you. You just can't. We're just humans. I know.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you, I got to give props to Michelle White though, because she's had her system in place for a long ass time. I can't even call and pick up my cell phone and say I'm calling Michelle White Dove personally right now. I have to go through Shantae, her manager.
Yeah,
and then she'll hand the phone if it's okay to White Dove here. Goes on the phone. Yeah. And it might be, no, I don't have time. Like I've got readings, I'll call back.
Yep.
But I can't even call her. So she is a firewall. Shantae is the firewall of everything. White Dove has no idea what questions are coming. Anything. It's like Shantae's right here. And then my friend Pete, I think he helps them too with some stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, she's had this shit down pat forever. I'm like, we got to get
you and I have to figure out some things, because here's the thing. You and I are supposed to be out here doing these videos. And when we're answering technical support emails that other people can do, we're not doing our jobs. And I'm finding it hard to balance with that as well.
Yeah, and for me, I have the additional. Woo dude came to me and said, Joe, the guides are time to work on you, open you up psychically, spiritually. You're going to go through a process. You're not going to recognize yourself in a couple of years, blah, blah. And I'm already having the dreams. I'm having prophetic dreams, prices of crypto in my dreams. Like it's out of control. But I'm like, I need to go to the next level. And they're telling me, we know, and we're trying to, but your life is in the way. And we know you love your people, but you got to pull back, and you're going to have to send them a message at some point, like a Patreon post, very sweet. Hey, I love every one of you, and I will. Yeah. And it's like, you may not be talking to me when the reply happens. It might be the person that I've hired to do this. And
Eternal Sunshine. Eternal Sunshine says JC and Joe need personal assistance. Something like that.
I'm like, I don't know if I need a personal assistant, because it's just really questions. I don't do readings. I don't like how people schedule. It's just
I don't need anybody doing my schedule, but I need help in the back end with the typical questions that come over all again that anybody else could answer. It doesn't need to be me. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I guess on that note, I think we're done. I'll tell you this little story after we hang out.
Okay, very good. And so, folks, again, do yourself a favor. Go to roadtoruler.com, subscribe for his newsletter. But this video is absolutely free. The Fate of Silver and Humanity. And as Cliff always says, you can ignore reality all you want, but you can't ignore the consequences of having ignored that reality. So it is a little bit difficult to watch. And a lot of people were commenting here, oh, it's difficult to watch him. Be sensitive, I'll just say that, and there's a reason for that. So these are adult conversations we're having, and Cliff and Biggs did an absolutely tremendous job. So please do go and watch that video. Now, in the next couple of days, you're also looking for here on the Beyond Mystic pay-per-view site, the Beyond Crypto Woo. This is the forecast for 2022 February with Janine, and also the new security updates course is now available for pay-per-view as well. And on Monday, you're going to see the new Astro Woo Finance, a personal zodiac's guide. And for this one, to get the maximum out of it, it's helpful if you already know your sun sign and your ascending sign. And if you don't, you can get your birth chart done here by Julie at maisonjupiter.com. And there you can use the code BeyondMystic to get an extra 10% off. And you can also book tarot consultations with her lovely and amazing tarot reader, Sophie. Absolutely, like, this girl's on fire, Joe. If you haven't heard her already, guys, go check her out. I know there's a lot of people in the chat already who've had bookings with Sophie, and they're already booking their second booking with her. So absolutely phenomenal, guys. Please do go check that out. In the meantime, you can find Joe at patreon.com/JSNIP4. And also here on YouTube at JSNIP4 I believe it is, at 17,000. Okay, you're getting there, Joe. You're getting there. Come on, guys.
I don't even, like, I'd be like 4 or 5 days. I haven't done a video. Let me do a video real quick. I was like, I want to do more, and I was like, well, I don't know if I should cover that right now. I don't know if I should talk about that right now. And I'm like, I'm focused on the helicopter. Let me get my training. Let me focus on that. It'll be done in not too long, and I can just rearrange things and get back into stuff. So I do want to add one more thing, though. I was just looking at the phone because I go, I need to just say this.
Okay, go ahead.
I've already said it publicly, so it's not like I'm sharing some secret Patreon and old Patreon info. When we had the last dip in December, I had 3 out of 5 order different coins fill, and I was waiting on 2 or 3 of the whatever it was for like months. I'm going, I got this in a dream, guys. I feel confident that, like, I'm gonna wait. But the other 2 coins that did not fill were XRP and Theta. And I feel like I need to say Theta. Theta just low today was $3.28.
Mm-hmm.
My dream, and I'm telling you, I'm having a dream when Theta was, for all I know, it was over $10. I don't even know how high it was for this, absurd dream to come in. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. Like, it's not going that low, and here we are. But my dream showed me at a pump gas station all the different prices, and my diesel truck specifically needed diesel, so there's only one price. It's not like premium and all that shit. And it was $2.39. And I thought, well, I'll put some buyback orders on Theta for like $2.55. I don't want to try to catch the very bottom. I don't, because if it gets close and not hit, that would suck. Mm-hmm. So all I'm saying is right now, it's $3.28 was the low. It's like $3.31 right now, or $3.32.
Mm-hmm.
We are this close to getting it down just a little bit more to $2.55, and I'm sitting here going, holy shit. Like, so even though my timing, I can't get timing, they're not giving me dates. They're giving me prices, though, and this is incredibly valuable information. So now, again, if I can progress spiritually and stop answering so many of you people I love so much, maybe I can get a little bit better and go, oh, shit, I just saw next month, and this is what I saw, where we could actually use this information to make incredible calls. I mean, some of these calls have been incredible, but it's like, well, shit, Joe, I didn't think I'd have to wait months and months and months for the damn thing to hit finally. And I'm like, I feel your pain, because I got orders sitting here waiting for freaking months, and then I finally canceled all my XRP orders, and I go, you know what, I'm going to just go, F it, I'm going in at Matic. And I do so at Matic at $2.51, and a little bit lower. I had some stablecoin on the side still, all the way down, 230 something, whatever, down. And now Matic's like $1.70. So I bought it, like I said, I think I'm going to buy a little more today and a little more Shiba. And then I'm like, okay, I think I'm done. But every time I do that, it's down a little bit more. Down a little bit more. Okay, let me just buy a little bit more. But now it's costing me my bank account. So anyways, I say this because I want people to hear me say that I bought a large portion using that big amount of stablecoin I had for XRP. They're like, well, that thing never dropped. My dream number. Screw it. I'd rather have Matic right now.
Right.
And I bought at 251, and I'm also buying at 170, 180. So people think, you get scared when it starts dropping. Oh no, it's gonna keep going. I don't want to. My portfolio is down now. I'm in the red. Holy shit! I don't want to do anything. When I'm just panic, I want to just sit still and hope and pray and cross my fingers that it goes back up. You should be buying if you have the extra money when it dumps. And if it dumps again, you got extra money, buy some more. And if it dumps again after that, and you're like, well, I don't have any more money. I'm done. Then you're done. And it's sad that it kept going and you couldn't buy more, but that's okay, because when it comes back up, you cost average down from your initial purchase. It doesn't have to go nearly as high for you to be back in the profit.
Yep.
It's an old trick that has worked for me, but it's emotional for most people to even be able to pull the trigger. They're sitting there in shock going, oh, my portfolio's down, So anyways, wanted to just give that last piece out before we call it.
That's very good. And also on silver, a lot of people say, oh, I don't know if I should buy silver right now. Think about it this way. You're not buying silver. You're returning the shit paper IOU for the actual money, the hard money. That's what you're doing. And as these fuckers, sorry for my French, are printing like crazy right now to try to save your asses. What's that?
Your French is very good, by the way. I've heard you speak French.
French DJs do it. We'll get into that one. So, guys, go check out beyondmystic.net/silver. Get your hands on some of this amazing silver from Miles Franklin here on the U.S. side. And if you want, if you're from the Canadian subscriber base, please join us there at MF Bullion for our Canadian subscriber as well. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe here on my YouTube channel. We're at almost 62,000 and growing strong. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And this was the Wacky Woo with Mr. JSNIP4. I love you guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday evening at 8 o'clock with Janine for Tarot by Janine. And check in the next couple of days here for all of the amazing new pay-per-view episodes coming up. Absolutely a blockbuster weekend of shows coming up for you guys, and mostly forecasting the financial situation here for February. So to help you navigate what is about to come and what perhaps is making Cliff cry in that video at roadruda.com.
Whoever, there's an early comment. This is not a damn sippy cup from Ian. It's a full-size cup.
God damn it. Joe drinks with the big boys. Although he doesn't really drink, but okay.
But when I'm pickaxing, I use a small one.
Yeah, that's an inside joke, guys. We'll get to that in a minute. So we'll get Dave on here, and we'll talk about some of them.
I have to do 3 Dozen Desert and tell the full story. I think I'm about ready to tell the whole thing.
You do? Oh, okay. Okay. I love it. Okay, we'll put it on the board. And if folks, you don't know what the 3 Dudes in the Desert is, no, it's not a gay drama. It's not a gay series. Oh. It's just 3 dudes. You guys were laughing at us the last time. They said, guys, that sounds really gay. I'm like, well, we're happy. Yes, we're happy guys in the desert.
Getting gay with kids. Wasn't that on the South Park?
I'm going to stop there, man. It's going to be too much.
Yeah, all right, it's a story.
All right, it's amazing. Stick around. I want to hear the last thing. Okay. All right, guys. I love you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Au revoir.